The Wizard of Oz, 1939, a timeless masterpiece that enchanted generations with its magical world, unforgettable songs, and iconic performances. With its groundbreaking visuals and heartwarming story, this film remains one of the greatest in cinema history. But what happened to the actors after they followed the yellow brick road? Let's take a look at where they are now. Burt Lahr was 44 when he portrayed the Cowardly Lion, aka Zeke, a role that showcased his incredible ability to blend humor, vulnerability, and charm. His performance brought warmth and comedic energy to the character, making him one of the most beloved figures in film history. With his exaggerated expressions and booming voice, Lahr delivered an unforgettable performance that continues to captivate audiences. Unlike some of his co-stars, Lahr had already established himself as a major stage performer before transitioning into film. His background in vaudeville and burlesque gave him an unmatched physical comedy style which he carried throughout his career. However, despite his success, Lahr was known to be deeply self-critical and often worried about his performances. He sought perfection in his craft, sometimes clashing with directors over how he wanted to deliver his lines. Tragically, Burt Lahr passed away on December 4, 1967 at the age of 72 from pneumonia brought on by cancer. His legacy as the Cowardly Lion remains an enduring part of cinema, with his famous line, "If I only had the nerve," symbolizing his character's journey. His contributions to comedy and film continue to inspire generations, proving that his talent and influence have never faded. Now let's move on to another unforgettable companion, whose journey to find a heart touched audiences for generations. Jack Haley was 36 when he took on the role of Tin Man, aka Hickory, bringing heart and sentimentality to the beloved character.
The tinsmith forgot to give me a heart.
No heart?
No heart, all hollow.
His performance, filled with warmth and sincerity, made the Tin Man's wish for a heart one of the most touching parts of the film. His soft-spoken charm and gentle demeanor stood in contrast to the more animated portrayals of his co-stars, giving his character a unique emotional depth. In contrast to many actors of his time, Haley had a long and successful career in vaudeville, radio, and film. However, his casting as the Tin Man was unexpected, as he was a last-minute replacement after another actor suffered a severe reaction to the silver makeup. Despite the unexpected opportunity, Haley embraced the role, though he too suffered health issues due to the makeup's toxicity. On June 6, 1979, Jack Haley passed away at the age of 81 due to a heart attack. His portrayal of the Tin Man remains one of his most iconic performances, touching audiences with his heartfelt plea for love and compassion. Even decades after his passing, his legacy continues to shine, proving that sometimes having a heart is more powerful than anything else. Comment your favorite Tin Man moment to honor Jack Haley's memory and celebrate his lasting impact on cinema. Ray Bolger was 35 years old when he brought the Scarecrow to life, delivering a performance that was both whimsical and deeply heartfelt.
Why, if I had a brain, I could while away the hours, conferring with the flowers.
His lanky frame, expressive face, and extraordinary dance skills made his portrayal unforgettable. Unlike other actors who struggled with typecasting after such an iconic role, Bolger embraced his legacy while continuing to shine on stage and screen. Before his breakthrough, he had already made a name for himself as a vaudeville dancer. But it was his role as the lovable, clumsy, yet endearing Scarecrow that cemented his place in Hollywood history. Bolger's signature rubber-limbed movements were entirely his own, adding a unique charm to the character. In contrast to his lighthearted on-screen persona, he was known to be fiercely ambitious, working tirelessly to maintain his career. Following his time in Hollywood, Bolger transitioned successfully to Broadway, starring in several acclaimed productions. He remained active in show business well into his later years, even making guest appearances on television. On January 15, 1987, at the age of 83, Ray Bolger passed away from bladder cancer. Though he is gone, his portrayal of the Scarecrow continues to bring joy to audiences of all ages. His performance, filled with warmth and humor, ensures that he will always be remembered as the man who danced down the yellow brick road. Margaret Hamilton was 36 when she delivered one of the most chilling performances in film history as Wicked Witch of the West, aka Miss Gulch. Her piercing cackle, menacing glare, and commanding presence made her character unforgettable, cementing her status as one of the most iconic villains ever portrayed on screen. While her role terrified audiences, Hamilton herself was far from wicked. She was a kind and humble woman who loved teaching and advocating for children's education. Diverging from many of her co-stars who sought glamour in leading roles, Hamilton fully embraced her status status as a character actress. Hollywood often typecast her in stern, authoritative roles, yet she never resented the legacy of her infamous green-skinned witch. She frequently appeared on television, delighting audiences by parodying her most famous character. On May 16, 1985, Margaret Hamilton passed away at 82 after suffering a heart attack. Despite playing one of the most feared antagonists in film history, she was beloved by fans, always embracing the admiration for her wickedly brilliant performance. Even today, her portrayal remains unmatched, proving that a great villain can be just as memorable as a hero. Before we dive into the journey of the Wizard of Oz's most beloved character, make sure to subscribe. Now let's take a look at the star who brought this unforgettable role to life. Judy Garland was just 16 years old when she took on the role of Dorothy Gale, yet her performance remains one of the most iconic in cinematic history. With her soulful voice, expressive eyes, and natural innocence, she embodied the wide-eyed dreamer longing for adventure beyond the rainbow. Unlike many child stars who struggle to transition into adult roles, Garland remained a beloved performer, though her journey was filled with hardships. From an early age, she was subjected to Hollywood's relentless pressures, forced into strict diets, given amphetamines to maintain her weight, and pushed through grueling work hours. These struggles led to lifelong battles with addiction, depression, and instability. Despite this, she continued to captivate audiences, delivering unforgettable performances in musicals, concerts, and television specials. However, financial difficulties and tumultuous relationships overshadowed her later years. Her final days were marked by exhaustion and declining health. On June 22, 1969, at the age of 47, Judy Garland was found dead in her London home due to an accidental barbiturate overdose. The world lost a legend, but her legacy endures. Her voice, charisma, and resilience continue to inspire generations. Even decades later, her rendition of Over the Rainbow remains one of the most hauntingly beautiful songs in cinematic history. Now let's turn to another unforgettable figure, a mysterious presence who proved that sometimes the greatest magic comes from within. Frank Morgan was 49 when he stepped into the role of the Wizard, Professor Marvel, and several other characters, showcasing his incredible versatility.
What's this I see? A house with a picket fence and a barn with a weather vane in it.
His ability to blend warmth, deception, and humor made his performance unforgettable, turning what could have been a simple trickster into a multi-dimensional figure. His portrayal was layered, making audiences question whether his character was a fraud or simply a man doing his best in a world that demanded illusions. Contrasting with many actors of his time who struggled to maintain steady work, Morgan enjoyed a prolific career, frequently cast in comedies and dramas alike. His natural charisma and impeccable comedic timing set him apart. However, his life off-screen was not as charmed. He battled alcoholism, which quietly loomed over his personal and professional life. Despite this, his reputation remained untarnished, and he continued to work up until his final days. On September 18, 1949, Frank Morgan passed away at 59 due to a heart attack. His sudden departure was a great loss to the entertainment world, as he was still an active force in Hollywood. Though he may no longer be physically present, his portrayal of the Wizard remains timeless. His legacy continues to remind audiences that sometimes the greatest magic lies in the ability to inspire belief. Billie Burke was 54 when she stepped into the role of Glinda the Good Witch, bringing an ethereal charm and grace that made her performance unforgettable.
Are you a good witch or a bad witch? Oh, but I've already told you, I'm not a witch at all. Witches are old and ugly.
With her gentle voice, sparkling gown, and reassuring presence, she embodied kindness and wisdom, offering a stark contrast to the film's darker elements. Her portrayal of Glinda remains one of the most iconic performances in fantasy cinema, leaving an everlasting impression on audiences. Unlike many of her contemporaries who struggled with the transition from silent films to talkies, Burke thrived thanks to her distinctive voice and refined presence. She was often cast as wealthy, eccentric socialites, roles that reflected her own real-life experiences in high society. As the wife of legendary Broadway producer Florenz Ziegfeld Jr., she lived a glamorous life, but also witnessed the devastating lows of show business. After Ziegfeld's death, Burke faced financial hardships, forcing her to continue working well into her later years. Despite these struggles, she remained beloved by audiences. On May 14, 1970, she passed away at the age of 85 from natural causes. Her legacy endures, with her performance as Glinda continuing to enchant generations. Even decades later, her radiant smile and reassuring words remind audiences that magic, kindness, and hope never truly fade. Now let's turn to another important figure, whose love and care provided the foundation for the journey that changed everything. Clara Blandick was 58 when she portrayed Aunt Em, the no-nonsense but loving guardian of Dorothy. Though her screen time was brief, her presence grounded the story, providing a warm yet firm foundation for Dorothy's journey. Her performance was subtle yet powerful, embodying the struggles of hardworking Midwestern women of her time. Diverging from many of her co-stars who continued to thrive in Hollywood, Blandick faced significant personal struggles after her acting career faded. Throughout her later years, she suffered from painful and debilitating health issues, including severe arthritis and vision loss. Once a sought-after character actress, she found herself in isolation, struggling with declining health and financial instability. On April 15, 1962, she made the tragic decision to end her life at the age of 81. Leaving behind a heartbreaking note about wanting to leave the world with dignity, she carefully arranged her belongings before passing. Though her story ended in sorrow, her legacy as Aunt Em remains timeless. Her performance, filled with warmth and care, continues to remind audiences of the love and comfort found in home and family. Despite her personal hardships, she left behind a role that continues to be cherished, ensuring that her presence in cinematic history will never be forgotten. Charlie Grapewin was 70 when he played Uncle Henry, the kind-hearted but slightly gruff guardian of Dorothy. His portrayal added a sense of realism and warmth, making him a beloved part of the film. With decades of acting experience, he brought authenticity to his character, capturing the hard-working spirit of rural America. In contrast to many actors who struggled with career longevity, Grapewin enjoyed success well into his later years. Before stepping into film, he had a long and varied career, including work as a circus performer, playwright, and stage actor. His transition from vaudeville to Hollywood was seamless, making him a recognizable character actor in numerous films. Despite his success, he maintained a modest lifestyle, never chasing the glitz of fame. On February 2, 1956, he passed away at the age of 86 due to natural causes. His death marked the end of a career that spanned silent films, early talkies, and golden age cinema. Though his name may not be as widely known today, his performance as Uncle Henry remains a treasured part of film history. His gruff yet loving demeanor continues to resonate, proving that sometimes the most understated performances leave the greatest impact. His legacy endures, reminding audiences of the simple yet profound love of home and family. Terry, the Cairn Terrier who brought Toto to life, was only 5 years old when she took on the role, yet her performance left an everlasting impact. Unlike many animal actors whose presence fades into the background, Terry's expressive eyes, energetic movements, and perfect reactions made her a true scene stealer. Her ability to follow complex cues and stay composed in high-energy scenes set her apart from other trained dogs in Hollywood. Diverging from the lives of her human co-stars, Terry continued a successful career in film, appearing in multiple productions. She was trained by Carl Spitz, a renowned animal trainer who pioneered silent hand signals for directing animal performances. While her screen presence brought joy to millions, her life behind the scenes was filled with rigorous training and discipline. Terry passed away on September 1, 1945 at the age of 11. Unlike most celebrity animals, she was given a special burial at Spitz's ranch, where a dedicated memorial was later placed in her honor. Though she played many roles, she remains best remembered as Toto, proving that even the smallest actors can leave the biggest legacies. More than 80 years later, The Wizard of Oz continues to inspire audiences young and old, with its cast forever tied to their legendary roles. Some actors went on to enjoy long careers, while others faced struggles or, sadly, have passed away. But no matter where they are today, their performances will always be remembered as part of Hollywood history. Which Wizard of Oz star's journey surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more updates on your favorite movie casts.